Leave me in the comments if you think Genshin is becoming pay to win, or is still totally free to play, and why. Today we are going to see an interesting evolution, not only with the characters that carry almost they're going to be back in Genshin Impact Ryothesly, Shenhe Ganyu, not just a. We have a continuous general increase in the level of demand of the challenges late games, so much of resources with the theater and of characters, as of total damage and knowledge of the combat. Genshin in the Abyss, but there are also changes in the banners already confirmed. Like that, it can last 42 days, some banners and some other factors like the creep not only continuous, but today even exaggerated and nerf or ban. By limitation to many equipment such as permafrost, the physical by its mechanics, and their performances in the game, and even some other teams that are seen to be wanting not to boost as much as others. So leave a good like, a good minute, subscribe, leave a good comment, and watch the channel video. Today I want to especially thank the channel team and the editors. Christmas is coming. They're always at the bottom of the canyon. They're doing great. They bring you incredible content for you, and it's all over this piece of equipment that I can do everything I'm doing, and you thank him a lot. So in this video I want to thank the entire channel team. Enjoy if you're eating, and let me follow in the comments you're eating. Meanwhile, and like subscribing helps a lot. It doesn't cost you anything, and once a day participate in a draw of Bendy just for leaving a comment for the algorithm. Subscribe with bell and like the video. We're going with Genshin. He's turning pay to win. Well, let's start with the easy, the basics, and so everyone he knows. And it's number one that we have a solid base of 4 stars that can make almost all the challenges of the game. But those 4 stars have some limitations. We know that there are the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, which are 4 that are supports, plus Shinkyu, Benetsu Yangling, and Kuki Shinobu, who today for me Kuki is the best electro character in the game, above the 5 stars, and well, at the same time, Raiden is our Kant, but he's a carry. And then we have Gamink as the 5th Horseman of the Apocalypse, best carry, 4 stars. The game, but here it already depends a little more on a team and other supports and characters. And then they are, to complement all this, Sakurosa and Fischl as 4 stars, very powerful. It is the initial roster known in Genshin Impact. This has some limitations, like that some characters obviously already have power. 5-star Crypt, and that many have Kazuha's, Furinas, etc. Mavuika instead, from a Xiangling. And then in the end, after all, there are 6 characters, but they can be built among all the several teams of 4 stars. If we put together, for example, the Dendro Traveler, and we have a Hyper Bloom with Kuki, and then, besides, we play a Benetsu and Xiangling, and then with Chabers or something, and we do an overload. For making quick a general framework of 2 things very free to play that everyone could. And then I get, well, there are 2 things going on here about this. Hoyovezi is not going to be wrong again, and these 4 stars, incidentally less Kuki and me, Shinobu, they exist since day 1 of Genshin Impact. They're not going to make mistakes again, nor are they going to increase the roster of powerful 4 characters. Stars that anyone can get, and that can actually get free on the shop still without having practically thrown wishes for shines. And 2, the games notice that they are playing constant power creep, no longer just climbing the demand of challenges late game, which these 4 stars remain exactly the same ones from day 1, and will arrive a point at which the demand of the game continues. Increase above these 4 stars, and this makes the 5 stars stand out. An example of this that I am commenting on, to this day, the Neuvillette teams are already bursting the ancient cores of nationals. Xingqiu, Xiangling, and Bennett, or there are new cores where Bennett individually survives to many teams, but for example, Xingqiu, not so much, unlike Yellen or Furina or Xiangling, remained very powerful in Raiden national or international, or even necessary between quotas on Kinnish teams, but today, Moalani and Kinnish, with Mavuika van Ier, to be superior to Xiangling's teams in general, and this will continue to happen in Thea, because they want to sell you. Now, That's the first point. They're showing us and teaching us that it's not like there are characters that take a year anymore. Hold to return, generating scarcity, and giving a luxury factor to these same characters in addition. Of the anxiety of all the feelings it generates in the end at the level of psychological marketing of the players, but they have shown us that there are characters like Shen He who can. It takes more than 2 years to get here. Not 1, 2. Shen He arrived at 3-5 Sumeru for the last time. We're at 5:30 getting to know practically the banners at the doors of the live stream. It doesn't look like 5.3 is coming Shen He with which as soon as 5.4 is coming. But if it comes at 5.4 to 5.5 at the end of the day, it actually goes from 3.5 to 5.5. 2 years. As long as you're watching this video, it's going to be almost 600 days without. Who came? Without Shen He coming. And this makes the characters more exclusive. It is true that those who sell the most bring them in times of influx of players like NATLAN's departure that brought Katsuha Raiden Varia. Now Noivillet's back again, another revanche, her second revenge. He has come 3 times from Fontaine in less than a year and take advantage of these moments too. But at any time, they can do the opposite and hide a very sold character. As was Alikino who broke sales, and now he will return with Mavuika and Citali too. I'm gonna break sales again. Or you can keep it now Fiorina, who barely had a revanche and people are asking for his next revanche, which is one of the strongest characters in the game. And who knows if they'll do anything like that with Shilonen? We know from mathematics that characters from the same region usually bring. The region runs out. I translate. Shilonen will surely return before NATLAN leaves. But they want to play with the exclusivity of late-bringing characters. Next point that's happening with all this, and it's 42-day banners. 42-day banners simply change in that promotional characters are more time on those banners. There was a gun banner, I understand, that also lasts 42 days. And this divides and gives us more banners than there were. Although I imagine they will keep the format simply by modifying the current banner and taking some kind of divine path to mark the character and another banner. And that's it. The problem with 42 days is not the advantage that many people can try to take. Like smoke, because Joyo, you're very good with smoke and saying, it's not very good because, so we have to take the character out more time in the pressure and thus save and get out. No, Kyle, because the problem with this is that you'll have more time to warm up. More time. Temptation for you to bring in card and longer temptation to start emptying yourself and run out of protogemas. And then in the next banners you're gonna get empty. I mean, having the banner last longer is just an excuse for people to get so much on the level. Of the time you spend free to play on protogemas like real economic resources. Spend the game is a sack for longer to keep doing that and collecting. And then it will happen that they will not have for the following characters and will spend those who they do not spend will have the greatest temptation to spend money. And those who, if they spend, will spend more because there is more time to warm up. So if you take Mavuika to Chero, and then, you know the banner's going to wash your hands and you know something else is coming. But if a Mavuika banner lasts twice as long, there'll be people going to watch videos, watch gameplays, and a few alarm wishes in Cone and C2.I. How strong the C2 is. Come on, I'll see if I'll throw what's coming out in the version. This is what I always say about having 160 protogems and throwing them away. That's super bad at the psychological level. And it predisposes you to make impulsive and wrong decisions normally. And that's really what's going to happen to these 42-day banners. People are going to have less resources, but also less ability to save. If the banner lasts twice as long and all this, then it is becoming pay to win or not. Does it take money in the end to say all the challenges to Genshin Impact? Does it take money to enjoy the game? Yes or no? Well, the reality is this. The base remains solid of what can be achieved with the 4 stars and several 5 stars. That you like them, since a lot of people know that the real calculus is that you can pull between 5 and 7 characters out. 5 stars per year. Stay with this fact, which is very important. And on that basis, the truth is that it's easy because at the end of those 5 or 7 you try to choose at least half, 4. Let's say there must pull the game and Zonahida, Katsuha, Furina, Novilette, or Alicino, or something, and you've got it almost figured out. But that solid basis, in my opinion, remains little. What do I mean? He's running out of time. They're attacking the free-to-play psychology a little, because the payer pays, and get what he wants. But the psychology of free-to-play of not being calculated well, not being planned correctly, have more time of temptation and others, or that the characters take longer to return, makes, let's say, this solid foundation that a person totally free-to-play can do. Facing all the challenges of the game, it is shrinking. The characters are getting more and more, they will become less accessible, which will generate, obviously, more demand for the company, and that works. All of the bracelet is good. The characters in the end, as I say, are becoming a luxury item. There will be more weapons and constellations to choose from, more banners and more time to choose from, which will complicate getting things, and especially taking into account the factor always that explains this in the community and is also not very positive for people. The pull for what you like is also a double-edged weapon. Today, I'm not going to talk about whether that's right or wrong. Just if the more options there are, there's more a strip for what you like and the game. It will gradually give us more demand. That will keep more people pulling for whatever he likes, but on many occasions what he likes won't give him the chance to be able to face all the challenges, which will then trigger anxiety, frustration, and from there to see what's best. I'm going to pass all the challenges there, spend money, sting. And then when you pass all the challenges again, you understand how the character works. That he was the one they liked, but he didn't help them in the account. But he translates back into more difficulties for free to play and more money in the game. That Hoy over Source comes. Okay, and also the fact that there are 4 stars that to this day stand up to all the challenges, but that all the challenges, as I say, both of resources and characters, the theater as damaged by rotation and knowledge of teams in the abyss, continue to power creep. As of gradually, and it's going to get a point, and I think soon, in another year like, maximum where the 4 stars give the size individually accompanied by others. 5 new stars like the team of Mabu and Kazidra, Lixalonen and Bennett, but that, together in each other with the same power that they had on day 1 of play, and that power does not change, no longer face these challenges. So in conclusion today, Genshin is not free to play, but Genshin and Hoy Overseas is a company, and they have to continue to do strategies to continue to generate money, and that and the natural rhythm that brings the game to this day, and everything I've told you before. If you're making it happen, the more time people still have, the more time. The feeling that more money is needed, or that at least things cost more effort, or that for a free-to-play it is more difficult to get all the resources and knowledge to be able to meet all challenges. To this day, as I explained at the time, there is a record of concretely in my free-to-play of making the abyss full stars in 3.5 months on a free-to-play account. Surely to this day it can continue to be done in about 4 or 5 months in an account. New free-to-play that you play enough, because in my case, I do stream content and everything. The rest. A normal person doesn't have that much time, but to set a limit. Well, surely to this day I think that in 5 or 6 months maybe a person can spend the full stars in a free-to-play account without throwing money. But from here to 1 more year, and in the progress we are in, I think it's going to be necessary now. From now to a year, and from now to 2 or 3 years, it will take at least 10 or 12 months or a year to be able to face all the challenges. And how does that work out? With money. Then, to finish, there will be people who say pay to win. Here there is no PvP. No, I know what. Can you call it pay to fast? Well, pay to fast if you want to call that progression that went from 3 to now. About 5 or 6 months, and in no time, 8 or 9 months can be called pay to fast. But the reality is that it's not free to play. It's not free to play. Sorry, it's not pay to win. But it's evolving to make it more and more complicated, and of course people have a greater demand. The game with your wallet, so you can no longer just enjoy, because people want to take out all the characters and cannot, but even as I say, do all the challenges that poses you. The game little more leave a good like a good Altivines. Subscribe, leave out good comments so it seems to me to enjoy and watch the channel video. Thank you so much for all the affection and support. If you're coming to the end, leave pay to win for the algorithms. Very classy algorithm. And you know, don't forget to like, subscribe the bell on algorithm. Take care of yourselves. Have a very good day. I'm not Mini's entitled.